Hello, Man in Gray here with another Man in Gray book review. Today's book is Photo Arc Wonders Celebrating Diversity in the Animal Kingdom by Joel Sartore, published in 2021 by National Geographic. It's 400 pages. This is, I believe, the second volume in the Photo Arc series from National Geographic. The introduction explains how Sartore came up with the idea of the Photo Arc project. He's been a photographer for National Geographic magazine for over 20 years. And one day he was in northern Alaska waiting to photograph, sitting out a storm, waiting to photograph whales when he got a phone call from his wife. And his wife basically told him, you need to come home. You've been gone too much. I'm trying to raise 3 kids by myself. You're never home. I'm trying to do the whole thing myself. And if you value our marriage, you'll come home and find a way to stay home more. And so he basically knew he had to choose between his photography or his marriage. So he got on a plane and flew home. But of course, he still wanted to be a wildlife photographer, but he realized he couldn't be going off all over the world for weeks at a time and leaving his wife to raise his kids. So he came up with this idea of trying to photograph every animal species in the world in captivity. It's in zoos or whatever. And instead of shooting them in the wild, he either shot them in a studio or he went to a zoo and photographed them there, and always against either a black background or a white background. And the introduction, there's an interview with his wife and his 2 sons and daughter, and they explain the challenges even now of their father and husband, who's kind of a type A obsessive person. The whole goal of this is to try to raise awareness of how many species are endangered and threatened, both from climate change, habitat destruction, pollution, and all the other effects. And so he's wanting to capture on film every single species that we have in captivity before some of them disappear forever. And so his family is behind him, supporting him in this idea, but they also complain about having to go all over. His wife and kids often accompany him, help him set up his photographs. And so they kind of complain about how stressful it is dealing with all this stuff. So it's sort of amusing, but also kind of dramatic in the same way. The photographs themselves are really impressive. They're divided into 4 basic groups. There's 4 main chapters in this book. They are shape, pattern, extra, and attitude. And I'll show you some examples of each one. The shape chapter, of course, deals with animals with distinctive shapes. And I had to pick my favorite animal, of course, which is the giraffe. Giraffes are one of the most popular zoo animals. This is there's several subspecies of giraffes, and if you notice, you can see there's a different coloring pattern on them. This is a Rothschild's giraffe, which is a fairly rare giraffe, and this is the reticulated giraffe, which is the one you usually see in zoos, the most common giraffe there is. The next chapter is pattern, and here we got, of course, the familiar pattern of the tiger. This is I believe a Sudanese tiger. A really nice photograph there. These are all in color, really brilliantly photographed. The third chapter is called Extra, and these are animals that have some kind of unusual feature. Here we've got an echidna, which is an Australian monotreme, one of those rare egg-laying mammals, sort of bizarre look. And this other animal here is a weevil with a long proboscis there. And then the last chapter is called Attitude, which has to do with the defensive nature of these animals. And we have here, there's some really nice panoramic groups of animals in panoramic display from time to time in the book. Here's a huge collection of different scorpions. You can see just the remarkable diversity of these scorpions. We tend to think of scorpions as being kind of brown or gray, but you see they come in all kinds of colors from blue to orange. And so it's really remarkable. And there's a scientific name and the common name of each animal here and brief facts about where they're located and so forth. And then there's an index in the back of the book of all the animals. So if you're looking for a particular animal to see if it's in the book, you can find that in the index. So it's a really remarkable project. I think according to, by the time this was written in 2021, I think he had photographed almost 11,000 species. So this is just a small sampling of the huge number of photographs that Sartore has taken. So if you're a fan of National Geographic magazine and you love animals, or if you're a photographer, a wildlife photographer in particular, this is really an exceptional book. Make a really nice Christmas present for people who enjoy photography and animals. The book is Photo Ark Wonders. The author is Joel Sartore. This has been another Man in Gray book review. Thanks for watching.